Oh, right. Cobs. Believe me, I want to make videos. I'm so stuck trying to decide what I want to make and
Oh
how.
my gosh!
Ah!
A full year, huh?
Oh,
Wild stuff, see?
jeez.
We gotta hang out more.
You're right. Also, I haven't heard from you in a bit. I hope you're all right with your new stuff going on. It's good to hear from you. I'm glad to hear from you in a whole year, seriously. I appreciate that. I can't put into words how much I appreciate that. Seriously. I when people hit like the big milestones, it always gets me caught up. Like I do this shit. Oh, I've my audio off. I forgot. Um I started out doing this shit for fun. I stream solely, or at least primarily for me, and everyone else's support is icing on the cake. Not to diminish it, it's just, I just, at that point, it's pure appreciation. There's no expectation, there's no obligation. 12 months, one whole year. Also, hi. Uh, that, gosh, and that also means when you think about it, I don't remember when we first really met, so to speak, but at least now we have a marker of like, hey, we've known each other for a year. That's that's a weird thought. The passage of time is incomprehensible. But thank you, I appreciate it. So the plan for today, once I remember to turn my damn music on, plan for today, I want to get phase two's stuff done. Also, I had fun with nobelisks in my off time during work today, so I blew some stuff up. There were a lot more trees here before. I did some cleaning. I didn't really find a whole lot. I did find some Mercer spheres, though. I can go ahead and play some of the messages we got about that. Let's see. There should be two of them we're catching up on.
Potential for harnessing alien energy completed. Fixit has identified two
Oh, no, not
development
this one. This
tracks
is
requiring
research.
additional research to integrate summer.
The loop organ contains scripture, contains instruments to compose symphonies of root and rot and recycling. Shrines to evolution and revolution.
I see. It seems we truly are building understanding.
Here we go. I thought this one was really cool.
Organs and veins are grown, and bones are dug into our walls. The temple gift is being desecrated. Our notes are sour still. Harmony follows many star journeys.
Patterns are starting to emerge in vocabulary, sentence structure, topics. How fascinating to once again solve a true mystery, to be unable to create any accurate predictions.
Like, the more we hear Ada speak, the more I realize, oh shit, wait, this isn't just like a pre-recorded guide or like some simple AI. Like, this one thinks and can appreciate being confused. And that's really cool. That's the kind of AI writing I really like. Is when you have this not an AI that's just confused about everything, but one that like has the assumption, oh, I know everything that's going on. I'm doing my job, yada yada yada. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, wait a second. This is new. I like new. Like AI that can express emotion that aren't just, oh, I don't understand emotion. Humans are confusing. I don't care as much for that kind of AI writing. But this, I like this. Anyway, we have a lot of building to do today. Arc evolved. Ooh, I hope you enjoy that. Arc is not exactly my cup of tea, but I also don't care for a lot of multiplayer survival these days. Your rusts and the like. Your isekai system. But as far as I can tell with the Mercer spheres and the summer sloops, it feels like it's something speaking on the behalf of the planet. It seems to complain a lot about me building here without any real understanding of what I'm doing. Like, I don't. Should play it together sometime. You might like it when it's friends. Maybe. I mean, it seems cool enough. I'm not big on the PvP aspect of survival games. Things like Pal World and Rust and all that. Pal World's cool, even if it is sort of intellectually, what's the word? Or rather, it's creatively depraved? No, that's not the right word. It's the new Arc, almost 400 gigabyte. I certainly hope not. I won't be picking it up if it is. That sounds fucking terrible. No, there's a good word for what I'm trying to describe, and I can't remember now. Ah, well. Palworld's not exactly, you know, creating waves in the ecosystem, in the industry by with its ideas. The original was cheese. Push button. Anyway. I have some cooking to do. Creatively bankrupt. That's the word. That's the word. Thank you, bankrupt. Let me adjust some stuff here real quick, because I need to... Zoop. There we go. I already have a setup for how I want to do these nodes, do all this building. I just gotta figure it out. I think we're just gonna smelt everything together, and then we're gonna start moving it around from there. Right, so our coal is here. We're gonna need 180 per minute of coal. These are, what, 120 per line? So if I can... how do we want to do this? Split it into 60s and then merge 3 of them. Then we're going to need 120 of copper, which is half of what we've currently got. I can actually just pull a 120 out of that and be done with it. Then, weird number here, 423 of iron. I'm just going to do 2 belts of 240, which is what we've already got, and call it good. 70 gig, not sure if that includes DLC or not. Okay, that's not bad. That is manageable. Ooh, do I want to... Starting to think, maybe I should go back and get like some wall mounts and stuff to make this a little more organized. Wall mounts or ceiling mounts. Ooh, maybe, yeah. Oh, I think I can do that here, actually. I can just build the shop. Oh, I have no screws. Okay, let me go home, grab some screw. Nah, you know what? We'll just build as we can. I'll find a good spot and we'll wing it. Because I don't want to take 5 hours doing this. Just check the store page. Yeah? Everything okay? Okay. So we've got iron here. We'll split that into... what is that? 480 over 30... 16 smelters. Oh, no, we have the foundries. We need 180. So 300 over 30. Why am I doing that? That's 10, obviously. I guess we could just build this on a second floor, and that would be fine. So we do something like so. There we go. That should be fine. 500 terabytes. It's basically just ported and remastered to you. Oh no. Oh no. That doesn't bode well. I don't know. I didn't play the original Ark. Maybe it'll be fine. Maybe it won't be a problem. Who knows? Maybe it'll be fine, guys. Maybe it'll be okay. It could be fine. They closed all the old Ark servers. Oh, that's... Well, to my knowledge, a lot of people just ran community servers, so that kind of makes... I mean, that kind of makes sense to me, I guess. Where's my foundry list? There it is. Alright, so we need 4 steel ingot foundries. These are all going to be making steel beams. We're going to pull 180 off of this line. 240. How do I split this well, actually? I'm going to wait on this. We're going to keep that on the outside. I'm going to redo this line and see how we can merge that back at. See ya. All right, take it easy. It's good to hear from you again. Thank you for your sub. I appreciate it. We could split it into a 60 and a 120, and then merge the remainder with the other line. So we do something like this. Do a merger here. Okay, so it needs a little more space than that. That's fine. Maybe here. So then 120. We're gonna need a little more space than that. So split. That's too far. Shoot. Split, merge, and then bring it out with a Mark III. So Mark 1 belt into the merge, Mark 2 belt into the merge, and then we'll bring a Mark III out. And then we'll do our splitting on the right end. So like that. Yeah, that works. And so then the remainder will bring out on its own line, which should be 60. But we don't have a belt that can hold 300, so we're going to have to keep them on separate lines. What the hell are you doing? What the fuck? Why are you like this? Who hurt you? What? I guess it is too... yeah, I guess it's too sharp of a turn. Okay. So we're going to bring this in here. And this one over here. And then we're going to feed these across 9. Yeah, 9 smelters. So we'll turn these into steel. We'll bring a coal belt up. 1 belt should be enough. And then... we're doing 9 smelters? Really? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think we'll probably just bring a belt around and do 4 here, maybe? Bring the steel that way, bring the iron this way. Do I have room to do 2 sets of mergers in this? No, I don't. Space is not exactly at a premium, so I could just do a straight line for it. Yeah, it's gonna be another annoying manifold design, but it'll work. 6, 7, 8, 9... And then we'll just wire all this up. So iron, iron, iron. The trouble is going to be getting all the ingots out of it, because we have to make a few different splits with the iron we have. Okay, so then we'll do... I think I'll probably merge that other line in... We'll probably do like 3 or 4 and then merge in there. Like so. No, we can't do that because... How do we want to do this? I think we'll merge here then, and then finish the split down the line. It'll make sense what I'm doing in a second. I just gotta actually get it built. Because I'm trying to get that remaining iron from the other belt in neatly. And these splitters are not lined up correctly. Okay. So we'll start the main line of iron in here from this side, and we'll bring it in like so. And then we'll bring the excess in over here into this merger, and then feed it into here. So the split line breaks here, and we bring everything else in here. So excess comes in there, main line goes in there, because we're pulling 90 off of the line here, and then the remainder goes in here. I think that'll work. Is this necessary? Not really, but I like it. They haven't learned to compress maps. Ooh. Let me rearrange my windows here, because I'm not keeping up with Chad. Okay, so split. Currently released DLCs is in the ballpark of 300 gigabytes. What the fuck? Like, don't get me wrong. Optimization in games can be tough, but I'm thinking, like, code optimization. That doesn't sound like a code problem. That sounds like an asset problem. Especially if you get into the AI upscaling bullshit. Okay, so we're gonna bring our Mark III belt into this line here. So this will make the iron we need for the rest of the factory. It's like it's something UE5 has on a tutorial somewhere. Yeah, probably, but also consider this. If I don't know if like Arc has any like cutscenes or like video tutorials as some games are wont to do these days. Um, if you'd have any kind of uncompressed video or even just like egregiously large image files like textures, skyboxes, the like, yeah, uncompressed map textures, exactly. That's a huge culprit, honestly. Okay, so we have the coal lines in here. We need 120. So let's just bring that up over here somewhere. That'll work. Gosh, I really do wish I had more than just hobbyist experience in the game industry. Because, like, some of these things I just know from what I've read and what I've experimented with on my own. Good lord, I have no experience putting them into practice in a professional environment, and sometimes it sounds like neither do the people who are making these things. I'd love to just be like, oh yeah, I told you so, this is so obvious, and it's like, well, some more like armchair game dev. I have the utmost respect for people whose jobs in the game industry are to keep build sizes small, to optimize the build process. Literally just build pipeline tools and what's the term? Not logistics, like diagnostics, doing debugging and all that. Ugh. Truly the saviors that the game industry needs and apparently get overlooked. Okay, so we're gonna have our 4 belts of steel. This is gonna be a total of 180. I can do that now. Tier 3. Alright, now we gotta look. How do we have this iron split up? We need 60 for the iron pipes. We need about 100 for rods. Is that right? So 15 per minute for rods. It's going to be 7. Yeah, we could do 70. That's not right. No, that's 95. Okay. No. Number 7. Oh, okay. Yeah. And then is that 86 for iron plate? No, that's 90 for plate constructors. Okay. I'm going to round this out. We need, if these are 30, we need 2 for, we need 2 for our pipes. We need 90. So 3 for plates. And the remainder go to rods. Is that going to be enough? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that should be enough. We can skip optimizing if the user has enough VRAM and an SSD. Yeah. In the ever-increasing race to build better hardware for games, we seem to have lost the art of making games that are worth running. Like, games that are worthwhile to run, that deserve the amount of hardware that's being used to make it. Like, oh yeah, I tested my game with these desktops that have like 3090s. It's like, yeah, Is your expected user gonna have 4090s? Is that really what you're banking on? That everyone that plays your game has that hardware? Sounds like a real risk. What was it that the Nightmare Cart dev said? I want worse games made with a smaller budget with worse graphics with that take longer to make. And I'm not kidding. Very respectable. Old meme. Alright, we'll just bring this power over here. And then we'll figure out the next lines. Okay, let's see. We have one pipe constructor. That's going to go towards stators. Everything else we need for the automated wiring is copper, because we need wire, cable, stators, automated wiring. We can literally just bring the line of copper down all the way to the end here with the pipes and do our automated wiring here. The next step that's gonna suck is doing screws. We need 4 beams? 3 beam constructors, and then that will feed into versatile frameworks. Okay. See, this one, this is the easy part of the pipeline, honestly. Because then we just split here. Oop, no. And then we'll do steel beam, steel, no, not pipe, steel beam. Let's see. Okay, so next up, the annoying part that's coming up, we have to do rods into screws, and it's going to be like 7 rod constructors into 6 screw constructors. It's a weird ratio, and I'm rounding everything. How do we want to do this? 1, 2, 3, 4. What I'll probably do is I'll split like we do here, and I'll split out. I need 2. Was that 2 plate constructors? So let's bring that in here. So 1, 2. And oh, it's just out of the way of the rod stuff. That's perfect. Okay, so then we need, again, was that 5 to 6 or 6 to 5? No, 7 to 6. 7 rod, 6 screws. Because then we need to bring some of the rods out for the modular frames and the rotors. Is that going to be enough? Yeah, that's going to be enough. The screws are what's going to be high volume, but the rest is fine. 40 megabytes. Gee. So 3, 4. Oh crap, we're going to run out of space here. That's fine. I have an idea. Let's do... Can I fit one more in this space? No. Okay. If that's the case... Let me double check. 2 plate? I need 3 plate. Oh, man. Okay, I have a different idea. If we're going to be doing this the way we are. Because I actually need a little more space to do this. Which does mean that this is directly in the way of my iron for rods. So we're going to shake this up just a little bit. Merge here instead. Alright. Then I think what we'll do is we'll go for a different kind of horizontal design. Because we're bringing all the rods together in one line, and it's going to be under 270. So we could probably do something more like this. Split here. Do a constructor facing out of that. Can I fit another merger? And then another constructor. And then one more splitter? It'll encroach on this, but it'll do. Yeah, this'll be a little awkward, but that's okay. I was not talking to you. No, yeah, I can't do that though, can I? Invalid belt shape. Okay, different idea. Alexa, stop. Okay, so instead of that, we will feed this here. And then we'll merge this way instead. Oh, no, no, wait. No, don't. Why on earth would I want to feed a splitter into itself? Damn it. And yeah, I feel like games have to be pretty good to justify huge amounts of space. It's just not worth it. When there's so much to compete with, like, yeah, hard drives are not nearly as expensive now as they used to be, but keeping up with that shit's just annoying, you know? What, I'm doing 7 of these? I'll probably just do 8 and call it good. Bigger the game, the longer the patching. Don't get me started on some of these AAA piece of shit games that have day 1 patches that are as big as, if not, like, bigger than the main content. I'm looking at you, Fallout 76. Or was it Fallout 76 that had the gigantic, like, 20 gigabyte day 1 patch? I think it was. It was ridiculous. And it's possible to make Unreal games that aren't complete space hogs. Satisfactory is pretty good about that, as far as I know. And they did the upgrade from 4 to 5. Okay, so these are all rods. Let's get these wired up. Okay. Alright, so steel, rods, plates. Let's get these merged and finish splitting the rods. You know what I need to do when we're done with this? I need to get back to quartz research and get lights. I would like spotlights. Or like the big floodlights, the big stadium lights. That would be so nice to have. Okay, let's go ahead and merge here. I want to take the plates away from the copper area. That's fine, it doesn't matter. Devs clearly haven't worked at pouch. Yeah. One of the important things with that sort of build process, which is pretty hard to do when you don't have a source that handles it for you, is just patching games to only apply changes, not completely update anything and everything that's not dependent on those changes. And that's not exactly a simple art per se, but you know, with professional standards, you would come to expect that, and it's not always what you get. Alright, so we've got steel over here. Now all these rods, we have modular frames, which will be reinforced plates and rods. Those modular frames will combine with the steel beams we've got to make the versatile frameworks. Let's see. Rods into 6 screw constructors. We're going to need about 60 per minute out of that. And then we can split the remainder into a rotor assembler, 2 reinforced plate assemblers, 2 modular frame assemblers, and then 2 smart plating assemblers. And I'm not going to remember any of that at a glance, and now that I look at this, it's bugging the hell out of me. .9 gigabyte update just to change the ad on the menu. I will say, like, Unity is a good example of an engine that's relatively easy to patch games without having to apply all of the updates. But depending on the sort of pipeline you're working with, what custom tools you use, how you manage your textures and other assets, you may have to build your own system for that. But like, for example, when I upload stuff on itch, at least with default settings, I can manage really small patches out of the box with that, and I'm very grateful for it. Because I do not want to have to worry about that stuff myself. Like, you're missing out on some efficiencies you could have by doing that sort of programming yourself, but also consider this, I don't care. If it works out of the box and I don't have to think about it, that's good enough. If it doesn't hinder me and it doesn't hinder my users, that's all I care about. It's very simple. It should not take several gigabytes to swap a JPEG, unless that JPEG is gigabytes in size. Doing asset updates is annoying. Because with that binary data, at least when you're managing change files, you can't just replace parts of it. You gotta replace it wholesale. And so if you have gigantic files, then that's the problem. Your game should not have a several gigabyte JPEG in it. Well, yeah, I suppose you're hitting the crux of the problem. You might be starting to hit the nail on the head here. Maybe. Maybe. Okay, I'm gonna bring this power pole forward over like here-ish. So 6 screw constructors, and then take the 2 remaining splits, split that in 2, and then half of that goes to 1 rotor assembler, and the other goes to 2 modular frames with the steel. So let's go ahead and set up the... We're gonna do... How do we want to do this? I think the reinforced iron plate assemblers need to go up first, and then we can manage the rest of it. I'm thinking... how many screws are we working with here? 220-ish? Let's do the 6 screw constructors, merge it all together into 1 Mark III, split that Mark III in half, and then do the reinforced plate. Ship of Theseus to a concerningly illogical extreme. Place the entire ship every time we repaint the deck. I don't know. Sometimes I feel like I'm really oversimplifying some of the difficulties of doing efficient game development in terms of space and computation. But really, it's not all as difficult as people make it out to be. Or at the very least, if you are taught how to do something correctly and you're not being rushed into crunch periods to where you have to do something incorrectly to meet a deadline, then it's not hard. And I think that kind of broadly addresses the issue at hand. I wouldn't say that a lot of these studios are lazy or stupid or anything like that. Like, obviously, I'm a no one who barely manages to make his own prototypes in his free time because he can barely manage the scope of his projects and tends to procrastinate a lot. But in a professional standard, some of the things we see and deal with in this industry, both as consumers and as developers, are just really shameful. Like, I don't have to be a know-it-all C programmer on the level of Gabe Newell or John Carmack to know that some of the stuff these professional AAA studios do is stupid, because the people that make decisions over the technical leads, over the technical teams, make stupid decisions. It all trickles down, and you just get awful results. Like that's not controversial. It's just unfortunate. It's part of the reason why I almost consider myself lucky to have not gotten the Blizzard job that I applied for, and the Ubisoft job I applied for, and actually got up to the interview process. God.
How did these
Look at it,
soaring
oh, jeez.
scavengers get in my home?
Hi, Ook. Are you done selling cards to smelly people? My wife. Very nice. Thank you for the raid. I appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed that game. I like seeing you do variety content. It makes me happy. And this is my wife. I'm busy rambling about the game industry that I have very little experience with. I was just reminiscing about how lucky I feel to have gotten passed over for Ubisoft before I found out what kind of shit was going on in Ubisoft. Or Blizzard, when I applied to work for the World of Warcraft team. This was before I learned about the breast milk shit and the Blitzchung incident and all of that nonsense. We need to get Ook in on Satisfactory. I feel like Ook could have fun with Satisfactory, but there's not enough challenge. It's not like Factorio where you have like stuff to kill and you make tanks and shit. I feel like he would take a similar stance to Aylward and say, oh, I'm not smart enough to play these games, and then realize that I just sit and ramble while I build things and I let like calculators do my numbers for me. Ook, I'm not reading that out loud. Death World Co-op. That could be fun. We should schedule that for like October or November once the Space Age expansion comes out. Okay, so these are all rods, screws. I think we're good here. And then I gotta split this in half.
All I need is your parents' credit card number. 3 digits on the back.
I'm not reading it out.
Wowie Milkies.
Ugh. Hearing that with the Brian text-to-speech sucks. You're in the game industry. I want to be, but I had well, one, I'm not the best student ever, and two, I had a pretty colored educational experience. I left home at 15 to take classes at a boarding school of sorts, right? I was trying to do college stuff early. I got a 30 on my ACT. They were like, oh yeah, you seem smart. We'll do stuff. And then I got into programming and I wanted to make my own games. But turns out, as smart as I am, I'm not a great student. I'm really not. I fucked around a lot. I got into college and I lost my full ride scholarship because I wasn't paying enough attention in classes. I was paying too much attention to like the esports club I helped run and all this other shit. I fucked up. I wasted a lot of good opportunities. And still, I look at the game industry now, and to say I'm jaded about it is probably putting it lightly. Like, I almost feel lucky that I did not end up in the churn of the AAA games industry. Did you genuinely have a passion for programming? I like a lot of things. Before I ever picked up programming, I was in music. Band was the only thing good in my life. Genuinely. Playing trumpet, getting into music composition, that was the only thing I had going for me, really. Like, I skated through all my classes. I didn't do anything particularly passionate. I liked art, I liked music, I liked playing games. There was a point where I never thought I would ever be a programmer. I could barely operate Microsoft Office programs. And there was this math and science school in the state that I applied for, got into. Their music program was not great, but I took a programming class in the summer. Good after stream care. Yeah, sure. I took a summer class on programming, and I was like, this is pretty good. my final project was a game, and it clicked. I was like, this is it. I've got to do this. And then I had a teacher that genuinely just did not teach me what I needed to know, because 90% of the class that was programming with him knew how to program before they'd shown up to the school. So I'm sitting here flagging, getting B's and C's, like failing some of my projects because I genuinely didn't understand what was going on and couldn't get help. And that cascaded into college. And truth be told, part of it was I was not giving my all. I was away from home at 15. I was doing everything but paying attention to class for the most part. I liked programming. I couldn't keep up. And in hindsight, my teacher wasn't very good either. I got to college, and my professors, now with my advanced programming classes, expected a standard and a completely different programming language than what I was taught. And I kid you not, I passed 3 of my programming classes in college. One of them, or both of my game programming classes and one of my regular ones, with C's, and didn't turn in the final project because I could do. I passed the tests with flying colors. It wasn't a problem conceptually, but I didn't know how to use Visual Studio. I didn't know how to program in C++. The professor was a douchebag that refused to help me because he did not like the school I came from. I'm not making that up. That's verbatim from his words. He was like, "Oh, you went to this school. You know how to do this. I don't have to teach you." And then when I would ask him for help, he would literally just turn me away and be like, "I have other students to teach. I can't help you with this setup stuff. You should know how to do this already." That sort of thing. So, asking, did I genuinely have a passion for programming? Long answer short, I tried. I did. I like programming. Conceptually, it's fantastic. Computer science is hard, but there is genuinely just something so fascinating, so rewarding and satisfying about making a computer do your bidding, to make it do something that you couldn't make it do before, and understanding how to make it better, how to do it in ways you hadn't considered before. Hell, even walking through the shoes of your forebears and seeing why certain techniques are used, why certain algorithms were made up in the 40s, the 50s, the 60s, why they work and why they're still used today in modern architectures. And seeing that evolution, it is inspiring. Contrast that with the industry that tends to have a wide variety of very frustrating patterns, be it know-it-all douchebags who get paid to do no work, leads and middle managers that have no idea what they're asking you to do, but expect you to do it on their timetables, among a multitude of other things. It's not all doom and gloom. Certainly not. But at least with the opportunities I've had, and the very few that I have made use of and wasted, it's tough. Of course, you'll find plenty of people who will say otherwise, and they're more than welcome to. Everyone's experiences are different, and I cannot emphasize enough how bad I feel at education, having gotten not only a bachelor's but a master's degree in computer science. And I feel woefully unprepared between a combination of my own understanding combined with the rush and pressure of working full-time and doing college work, having an inconsistent education. I've had great professors, I've had shit professors. And just everything in between. Like, I can't even begin to really iterate on just how frustrating it can get. I don't regret it by any means, but it's hard. Hey, 5-digit numbers have a doctor professor that teaches nothing. Oh, you're hitting the nail on the head there. All right, this is coming from rods, right? Rods, yes, rods. Because we need rods and reinforced plate for the modular frames. Yes, okay. Let me make sure we've got our 3 plates and then the screws. We've split the screw belt in half. The rest of the screws will go towards the versatile frameworks. We need to bring this across. Gosh, I didn't realize I'd enjoy whining about my education and playing Satisfactory at the same time. It's better to try than never know. Well, and the thing is, like, again, trying to beat the doom and gloom allegations. I made a lot of connections in school. I'm not disappointed in my education. I'm disappointed in some of my missed opportunities. I did work for the Department of Defense and the Department of Homeland Security in college. I can't show any of that to anyone because it was under what's the name of the security clause where you can't talk about NDA? Yeah. I did research work at Microsoft. I interned with their research department and worked on a virtual reality headset that I could technically talk about because it fell through and it's not a commercial product now, but I won't because I'm a public face and I am paranoid about that. And I can't talk, I can't really show that off because it was under NDA. It's been scrapped. Well, I got out of college and I applied to work for the government and they're like, no. They just didn't respond, even though I had my associates still working with them as reference. I applied to work with Microsoft Research after I graduated, and they told me no because I needed a PhD, something they did not tell me before I left education. Like, I will not be one of those subpar programmers who throws his own pity party because he got shafted by the industry. But it's really damn hard not to. Well, and part of the internship with the no job at the end, I was still doing grad school. I had another semester, and they told me, you should apply when you graduate. And I did, and I had them as reference. And Microsoft, they interviewed me and then told me, no, because you don't have a PhD. And then I applied. I came back to the same recruiter to go for an actual job, and I got 0 response. Like, I did what I was supposed to. That's where the frustration comes from in this industry, where you can apply for jobs and follow procedures, and when other people don't follow their procedures, you're the one that suffers as a result. Then again, I applied for Google. I made it to the final round of interviews, and I legitimately got turned down. And then they laid off 10% of their workforce 3 months later. Microsoft has had layoffs. Look at Xbox right now. They literally just laid off, like, what, another 2,500 people? Like, good grief. For all of my hopes and dreams and my wishes and my desires, maybe I was better off just streaming and doing, like, web dev on the side. Or doing web dev and streaming on the side. It's almost entirely activeless, yeah. I guess I can't really put Activision Blizzard under Xbox. Are they part of Xbox now, or are they just a different branch from Microsoft that's, like, adjacent? I don't know. I had Phil Spencer play a video game I made in my internship. I made a third-person shooter using Xbox Live avatars to do a paintball game akin to Splatoon, and it kind of sucked, Phil Spencer played Godzilla shooting people with paintballs in a game I made in 3 days, and it was really cool. That's the highlight of my career. Like, that's cool. That's good for me. All right, I need to take a break in a second. I need to refill my water badly because I've been yapping for half an hour straight. Okay, so we've got screws, rods, steel beams, iron plates, iron pipes. We need to get the copper line up, and then we work on the versatile framework, smart plating, and automated wire. I should be able to have this up in the next hour. Anyway, I'm going to take a quick break. You know how Twitch's ad shit goes. Mute the stream, leave the stream, get a drink, pitch cats, whatever works for you. I'll be right back. You won't miss anything. I'll see you in a bit. For those of you who are subbed, I appreciate you, and thank you for your support. Oh, I need to breathe. See you in a bit. All right. Thank you for sticking around. I appreciate it. Anyway, to get back to the original, what that is, most complex thing I wrote as a switch statement. So, in long story short, a tree is just a data structure that associates nodes with sort of child nodes. If you think of a tree, flip it on its head where you have a root and then you have nodes connected to it, associated to it in some way. And then ones that don't have children are leaves of the tree. A self-balancing tree aims to try and make a tree that is sort of symmetrical. And the reason you want that is that when you're trying to look through memory for stuff, you want it to take as little time as possible. And a binary tree can search for things way faster than like an array. In an array, if you want to find an item, you have to go from one end to the other to find it, and the worst case is the length of the array, n. A tree, if you're using a binary condition, like if it's numbers, and you know your tree is sorted, you know that one half of the tree is less than the root, and one half of the tree is bigger than the root, and at any given node, its left child is less and its right child is bigger. You can search through the tree a lot faster. You can search through it as the worst case is the logarithm of n, which is the number of things in the tree, just log n. And so self-balancing trees are handy because instead of having to, every time you add something or remove something from the tree, having to recompute the whole thing, you have it just readjust its elements as it needs to as you build the tree. And it's complicated as fuck, but it ends in much, much faster processing and memory searching. Dependency, yeah, the good one. Okay, I'm gonna split this down. I need modular frame, which takes rods, plates, and we're gonna combine these modular frames with steel beams. So, 2 modular frame assemblers. How do we get the plates? Hey, easy. No taking fur off each other again. Little shitheads. Okay, so screws. This is the reinforced plate. We merge it into one line. We're gonna split. We'll split here. And we're doing 2 modular frames. 2 modular frames, 2 smart plating, 2 versatile frameworks. So something like modular frames. You're currently automating the actual game you're playing. Okay, so you can't see it because my face is in the way, but in the top right here, we're doing the next phase of Project Assembly. There's a big space elevator out there that I gotta get, that I gotta feed. And we need 1,000 smart plating, 1,000 versatile frameworks, and 100 automated wiring. And I am building all of that in one factory over here. And I screwed up my UI by going into build mode, apparently. Okay, there we go. That was weird. Yeah, don't get me wrong. I can ramble on just about anything, and I love talking about the industry. But I started to rag on myself about not having any real hands-on experience with the industry other than being shafted by it. We were on the topic of games having like stupidly large install sizes and the like. And I was talking about how even me, some, bumfuck developer that no one really knows, even I can say this stuff's not hard if you know what you're doing and aren't on a serious time crunch. If you open the map with build mode active, all the tooltips disappear. No experience in the industry except being sounds like experience to me. A lot of my experience, limited as it is what I've learned on my own. And I really, God, I really want to just make my own fucking games. But that's where my own personal issues show up, mostly in the form of not making time for things, having a lot of distractions, and quite frankly, just not committing. I've got commitment issues when it comes to projects. I don't like working in groups because this is gonna sound stupid. I haven't been in a group that I enjoyed working in when it was for no, that's not true. I've had duo game jams I enjoyed, but I'm always paranoid about working with people on shit. Everyone's got their own interests and ulterior motives, and that's not the problem. The problem is when money gets involved and when people can't line up on a vision and when you end up working with people that just aren't quite as socially adjusted as you expected. And this is coming from the guy with Asperger's syndrome. Shit, what was I? Modular frames. Where do the rest of these plates go? Smart plating. Okay, so we're gonna have to do rotors over somewhere. These are screws. Screws here. Shit. You know what? We can bring this around. Long story short, I've had a history with trying to do group stuff and industry stuff in game dev, and I'm just kind of tired. I don't think that's unfair. I really don't. Where are the rest of these screws going? Rotors. Okay, so we're doing reinforced plate there. Gosh, I need to put like markers on this shit. Reinforced plate here. Modular frames here. We're bringing the rest of the reinforced plate out here. We've got the remainder of the rods. Where the rest of my rods going? So you know what? We can bring this over here. We can do rotors here. Come to think of it, we can do rotors like right here-ish. I'm gonna have to wing this a little bit. So then... I didn't plan the space for this very well. That's okay. Okay, mod frames, rotors. We're gonna just put here, easy, you two. It's your birthday today, but that's not an excuse to be little shitheads to each other. Damn cats. Oh, that doesn't go there. Okay. Reinforced plate here. What? Oh, no. Reinforced plate here. Rods here. There we go. What are the rest of the screws for? Rotors. Wait, no, that's... Oh, no, I pulled in the rods. I need to bring in the screws. The screws need to go here. Damn it. Okay, hang on. I gotta... There we go. Yeah, it's tough to get into game dev when you have a difficult part with the dev. For me, I love art. I like to draw. I'm not good at it because I'm not practiced. And it's very easy to lock up and say, "Oh no, what I'm doing sucks. I need to start over or do something else or don't bother." But that is ultimately what ends up putting you behind everyone else. It's what I've learned and what I'm still learning is if you want to get good at that sort of industry, you have to get good at sucking. You have to get good at being bad and being okay at being bad. Because if you don't, the entire experience is going to be miserable. Okay, this is making mod frames. We split off here, and we can do the smart plating. So, rotors, R-frames. God, this looks a mess, but it'll get there. Smart plating, where is that? There it is. No, developing, trying to improve your self-confidence and working in any creative art is asking for trouble. But that is, unfortunately, kinda how it has to go sometimes. It is the unfortunate struggle of an indie developer, especially if you're learning. Not everyone has the same struggles, and I'm sure there are plenty of people out there, especially if and when I have a VOD for this, that'll say, "Oh, you're just talking out your ass, you don't know shit." And it's like, yeah, probably not, but it's true for me. See, Pizza, you know what I'd have to say for that? Someone who needs audio for this 13 code base. You know what I would say, Pizza? I would say, you know what you need to do? You need to make a song that you think would be a great game loop. And then I will say, this is a cool game loop for like background music. I'm going to make a game themed around it. There you go. You've made game music. Where you're done. You're good. But I struggle to make visual assets. I really do. So you try and find someone who can say, hey, this looks like a cool game loop or a cool game idea, but I can't program. I'll do art for you while someone else does the music, because I hate doing game music. And that's just kind of how teams fall together. It's kind of how it's supposed to go with game jams, but my jam experience hasn't really ended up in that sort of thing. Ah, God, my modular frames are all the way across the factory. I think these are my frames. No, these are my plates. Where the fuck are my frames? Okay. Plate, rotors, smart plating. These are my frames. These are my frames. Okay. So then I need to bring these out here. I'll be the ideas guy. If you're in a team and not everyone's contributing to the ideas, there's going to be dissatisfaction. The thing is, I don't believe that you should have a game that didn't have some creative input from everyone involved. If you do, I think you're making a lesser quality game than you could. Everyone should have involvement. You don't have to have involvement in a level design if you only give a shit about music. But you should give a shit about how the gameplay loop works and how your music loop complements it. You don't want like really obnoxious like electronic chiptune music if you're playing like a horror game. Dissatisfactory. Found someone like that in regards to Nessus 13 code base. Good. I'm glad to hear it. I have a lot of opinions on game development and managing teams for game development for someone who doesn't like working in a team. Just putting that out there for anyone who might be giving what I'm saying a little more credence than it deserves. I would love nothing more than to help work with a team and work with people who are much smarter than me at making a whole project. Not because, oh, if they do it, I don't have to, but more of, I think a lot about these things, and they're things I'm comfortable thinking about. And I hate middle management. Ludonarrative dissonance. Pizza. Well, actually, that's more of a... That's gameplay and narrative. What would... I guess it would be audio narrative? Ludo-auditory dissonance? I'm not an etymologist, but I guess that'll work. I know I can do it and it feels euphoric. I have that skill. I'll suck with the rest of 3D. I'm gonna play a clip. Well, yeah, here it is. This is a clip from Thor from Pirate Software. Might be a little loud, sorry. It's a short.
Hey Thor and chat. Thanks for inspiring me to make games.
If this is too loud,
I don't
sorry.
think I'm cut out for it. I've been stuck on this issue for over 2 weeks and been researching and trying different things for what is a really simple issue. Anyway, sorry I let you down all.
You didn't let anyone down. This is tale as old as time, man. Like, you will find things that are broken. You will try things that don't work. You will attempt them. And then you'll be like, my God, this doesn't work. I'm such an idiot. I'm such a dumbass. And then you'll finally figure out how to do it. It'll come to you in a dream, or you'll be taking a shower. And then you're like, oh shit. wait, I know how to do this. I'm a genius. It's the I'm a genius, I'm a dumbass loop of game development and programming and everything else, man. It's always the same. I'm a genius, I'm a dumbass. Over and over again. So stop worrying about it. Don't beat yourself up over it. Don't be a dick to you, right? When it comes down to it. Because, like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You'll figure it out or you'll find a completely different way to do this. That's how that goes. And if you beat yourself up over it, you're probably never going to find a solution because you...
That's really what my whole ramble here boils down to, is game development and programming in general, in my opinion, is this never-ending cycle of, oh my gosh, this is really cool, I'm so smart, I'm a badass, and also, oh god, I'm so stupid, why did I ever bother? I am disgracing my forebears by having made something so horrible. Having emotional stability in this industry is really important. If no one told you that before, or anyone tries to tell you otherwise. It comes with being a creative, and it comes with being a creative with experience. Okay, so we've got our smart plating, we've got the versatile framework. I need to work on the automated wiring, which means I need to take this copper that we brought in. I need to smelt, what is it, 4? 4 copper ingot smelters to 8 wire constructors. We'll split that. Looks like 80-20. 4 cable constructors, 1 stator assembler, feeding into 2 automated wiring assemblers, and then we're almost done. Good lord, we're almost done. I need 1 constructor for pipe. Just like the founding fathers intended. It's pretty easy to not be a dick. Many people fail this simple task. No, my biggest issue, honestly, I've considered quitting streaming on multiple occasions, just because imagine what I could do if I spent 2 to 3 hours of my life working on games instead of throwing myself a pity party and playing video games and whining at people. Imagine what I could do with my life. But I like streaming. I enjoy being able to share my experiences with people. That's important to me. You can't really beat that. There's no reason I can't do both. But then it comes down to I stream a few hours every weekday. I work on my own programming, either on the weekdays or on weekends. I work a full-time job, 8 to 5 every day. And then literally everything else. I don't know how other grown adults do this shit. I really don't. I used to be an actual workaholic. I used work as a coping mechanism for other problems, and I really try not to fall back into that. Chat I just sent to Twitch, somebody said failed to send. I saw your remark about being able to do stuff and how it's euphoric and you suck with the rest of 3D game dev, but that was it. Also, if you can help it, do not start with 3D game dev. 3D game dev is hard. Real talk. Oh, no, okay. Quaternions suck ass, and I refuse to learn them. That's not true. I'll learn them if I need them, but I hate quaternions. Quaternion math sucks. I don't need a 4-dimensional conceptual entity to explain to me how a rotation works. Like, oh, I hit the wrong... What happened to my display? Oh, I hid my face and I never put it back. But there are just some parts of it that I hate. Vector math is cool. I like vector math. But good God, working with quaternions sucks. I don't want to be a programmer. I want to be a game developer. Oh, quaternions, they're ass work with. Exactly. That's one of the things about math majors and like people who are mathematically inclined that bugs the shit out of me. It's like, how do you work on something that how do you what is this abusive relationship where you're working with concepts that you and your peers created and you hate them? How does that work? How do you justify that? That's wild to me. It's like, why would we do this to ourselves? Okay, I'm gonna need some more space, because these constructors are not gonna fit in this space alone. Oh, I should have merged to the left. To the left, to the left. It's fine. Is this 120? I could do a line that just splits like this. Something like so. Put Battletoads Double Dragon Ultimate Team Up on the Switch. Oh, jeez. No, you know what my dream would be? My real dream stream. I want to make games and show those games off on stream. Play my games and not my games on stream. And help other people learn how to make games. Of course, also what I'm describing sounds a whole hell of a lot like Thor, but he's got actual game industry experience. Also, hi, Squid. No package game for me. I'm busy rambling and finishing up this damn factory that's taken 3 hours to make. 2 hours to make. Okay, good. Good. These are all going to be regular wire constructors. No, one of the things I want to do, I want to help teach people. But I'm also like not the problem with teaching is you're usually expected to have some kind of expertise in what you're teaching. I don't want to be the professors I had in school, if you catch my drift. I don't want to perpetuate that same problem. I have plenty of wisdoms to share about some things that may be relevant to people in specific circumstances. That's what I've got on offer. Take it or leave it. Not to diminish my skills, I'm just a little more realistic about it. I'm a 28-year-old with my whole life ahead of me. Good lord, this shit is hard. Okay, so I have 8 wire constructors. We need 4 cable and 1 stator. I could do that. Because then I can just put the cables here. As long as I don't let the pipes get lost. 2, 3, 4 cable. Okay, actually, I did just realize most of this wire is gonna need to come... Most of this wire is gonna need to go over there. What did it say? We needed 40 wire for the stators? 40 wires. I'll do... I'm gonna tell you what. We're gonna split this here. And then I'm gonna bring in the mergers here. We're gonna... Or no, sorry, splitters. Okay, so what we'll do, we'll split here. But then I'm going to bring a merger stack up above. Like so, we'll bring that up. I'm going to do a merger stack here. And then we'll bring part of this line up to the top. And bring it out and over here across. So that it's there, and then we will merge that back down here. So it's gonna be a 75-25 split until the 75 line overfills. Or, sorry, the 25 line overfills. It's built 75-25, it should be 80-20, I don't give a shit. Ratios and manifolds and shit. I mean, I could be doing this way better, but I also just want it done. I've got one friend, my math major friend I talk about a lot on stream. He's great, but he also takes like 5 times as long to build stuff like this than I do, because I just fucking build it. And if it's not efficient or it doesn't work, I just move on. Like, he's got maybe half the time I do in Factorio, but he's never finished it. Because he spends all of his time spreadsheeting things and doing logistics correctly. And, like, making really cool train networks. And I'm just like, nah. Just build. Me build. Fix? No fix. Build. Okay, so stators, I need to find a spot to bring those pipes in. Oh, jeez. Okay, we're gonna do 3. No, don't. What the fuck? What? Oh, wait, hang on. Is this my pipe maker? It is my pipe maker. I just had the outputs wrong. There we go. No plan, only build. Oh, oxygen not included. It's great. I love that game. I'm just not that good at it. I can make a colony that survives really long periods, but I can't finish them. I get to the point of steel making and rocket building, and then my brain's like, no, I don't want to do this. We're good. I'm satisfied. I've spent 80 hours on this colony. Move on. Oh. I didn't know that was down there. Huh. Okay, so wire here, wire out. We have wire coming up the bottom. I just made... There we go. Do this. Like here. Bring in the... Stop! What the fuck are you doing? This straight mode's weird, man. Okay, so then... We have our pipes, we bring those down. And then we need to feed the stator assemblers. Stator assemblers, take the cable and the stators to make the automated wiring. Where did I put the cables? God, I could have, like, painted this shit so it was actually easy to read visually, and then I just didn't. These are the cable assemblers? Okay, so cable output is here. We build the stators out here. We merge the... Okay. Almost done. God, trying to do storytelling and build all this shit together and keeping it all in memory is a real challenge for me today. Only speedrunning sounds cool. The only speedruns I've ever done are a hat in time. My record's like I want to say 3:15. And it wasn't breaking any records at the time. It was just following a guide. It was cool to beat a hat in time in one sitting a couple times, but I doubt I'd be able to do it as competently now. Okay, so let's get those assemblers in. These will make our stators. Bring those around. And then... we're almost done with this now, I think. Then we actually have to go home and grab the space elevator and rebuild it out here. Okay. Let's get that powered up. Should be a pole here somewhere? Question mark? Where's my... Where are my power poles? I'm glad I doubled up on my power supply earlier, because this is going to take, what, 400, maybe 450 watts? Or, sorry, megawatts, excuse me. 450 watt factory. Oh, 450 megawatts. There we go. Okay, that stator's done. And then finally we'll get... I think I'll just bring this around and do another line close to this. And then we'll do automated wiring, which is stators and cables. We'll split everything off here like we did before. And that should be it. Once we've got this connected, this should be all said and done. 2 hours of semi-coherent rambling later. I do love to yap. It's true. Okay, so that feeds in there. Where are the cables again? Over here? Yeah, these are cables. There we go. Cables in. Let's power these up. Okay, so cables. This is smart plating here. And this should be the belt for versatile frameworks here. On categories to launch a rocket as fast as possible. Ah. Yeah, unseated runs would be pretty interesting to watch, I think. I'm pretty fond of watching speedruns. Okay, let's get this output. And then we need to bring the... Let's go and get these brought over here. Can I just... Yeah, there we go. That's the smart plating. I think now I can just hook up all of the ores, all of the ore inputs, plug this up to power, and it should all start spooling up. I'd really thought about making this in like a prettier building or something, and then I just didn't. Alright. I think, yeah, all the ore inputs are already set up. I just have to get this powered. So let's grab that. And we'll just slap a pole down here. Hook it up to that one there, and bam! Look at that spike in our maximum consumption. And now, let's see. Let's see how it looks. All right, anything red. Red means no recipe or no power. Alright, wires. Where are those pipes? There goes the cables. There's the batch of pipes. Perfect. Yeah, when you're looking for administration for that sort of thing, time zones can be rough. Let's double check, make sure everything else is getting fed what it needs to. Copper's not going to be hard. Copper's the simple part. Pipes are going to be slow, but that's intentional because they're only getting 60% of what they need. Got rods outputting. Did I not? Oh, I didn't connect these. There we go. So there go the rods. The screw constructors are running now. We should see reinforced plates start getting screws. There they are. Okay, so the reinforced plate come out. You know what? I'm going to let this run. Let's go grab the space elevator and make a platform for it. I've been sitting here looking at this one box full of machines for about 2 hours. I'd like to walk away. We'll have a look at the rest of the facility on the way over. Oh, wait, no, I need that line. It is nice to see everything up and running, though. Good grief, that is a big footprint. It's not the biggest factory I've ever built, but that is pretty sizable. Look at that. Oh, sure. I think helping administrate something like a speedrun category could be pretty interesting. I don't know what the organization for that sort of thing looks like from like a sort of upper management perspective. Like, I don't know what the community is like that administrates the self-administrating speedruns. It could be interesting, but knowing the internet, it could also be a royal pain in the ass. It's been months since someone posted a run. It happens. If anything, get in touch with them. If you don't get a response, contact the site admins and say, hey, you know, I'm interested in helping manage this community, and I'm not getting a response from the person who currently runs it. You know, they'll either prod him or be like, oh yeah, you know, we haven't either. Here's what you need to do. Or if they have some kind of application process, you go through that. It's funny. Some online communities are surprisingly organized. And you'd be surprised how understanding some of them can be. It really depends, but I've had good experience. Some bad, but some good experiences. Admitting for Monkey Station was great, and they are a whole hell of a lot more organized now than they used to be. I don't think anyone could ever pay me to admin like anime groups or anything like that again, though. Current discourse in the weeb community is way, way worse than it was in 2014. God. Oh shit, I'm on the wrong line. There we go. Oh, okay. Man, what a long stream. It's only been my usual run time. Jeez. Alright, I'm gonna take that back. Is there anything else I need before I go? No, not really. Oh, well, I need to not fall off of my zip lines, for one. Do I have enough concrete? Probably not. Let's grab some more. Oh, I should go see if Aylward has anything for me. And if he doesn't have anything useful, I'm going to blow him up. Alright, Aylward, what you got? You have iron plate. No, not today. You gave me computers last time. You get a reprieve this time. He wants a rousing game, a package game. Look, I'm gonna get the space elevator up and make sure we're getting parts deposited, and then we'll play package game. Okay? How's that sound? Because I want this done. Even if it's not gonna finish phase 2 before I wrap up stream today, play package game in space. That reminds me. I'm debating on whether to do Space Station 13 on Halloween or not. I vaguely recall hearing we had like some special map or whatever we were going to be doing for Halloween again. It might be nice. Maybe. If not Space Station, I want to pick up like some classic horror game. 170-minute run on Starstorm 1. Oh boy. Well, thank you, Aylward. I always appreciate having you around here. You sleep well, bud. Meanwhile, I take this very, very, very long trip back home. Or away from home back to where the space elevator is going to go. And God, if you thought this build took a long time, getting to phase 4 is going to be monstrous. Like, I've completed the next phase that comes up in the past, but it took probably 30 hours. Oh, right. Yeah, no, we're going straight. If that, it probably took longer. I just remember I made a gun, I made a lot of ammo, and then I just went around the map shooting everything that moved. Like these things. Oh, we're almost done. Ugh. Jeez. Want to go back to making my silly little tools on the side. Oh no, the hounds are baying. Hang on. No. None of that, please, no. I don't want to take another break. I want to play. Alright. Having a look at everything. Let's see. Green lights are good. Let's see where those yellow lights are coming from. I think it's just the screws needing distribution. Not enough rods, really. So we're getting screws in here. Where are the rods supposed to be coming from? Wait. Where? Wait a second. Where are my rods inputs coming from? Do I... Oh, over here. Ah, they're taking the excess from the rest of this, and I still need the manifolds to fill in. That's fine. I can just put rods in myself for now. Really should have thought about how that was phrased before I spoke. Let's see. Everything good here? Yeah, looks like it. Here I am ranting like no tomorrow and haven't you touched my project. Okay, so there's a term widely known as action faking, where you do like setup or planning for something you want to do, but you don't actually do what you want to do. It's very easy to do by accident. Go do the thing. I'm gonna wrap up stream in probably like 10-ish minutes. And when I am done, you should go do whatever it is you're working on. You should do that. Watch the rest of this if you see fit. Or, if you really want background noise, I've got a VODs channel. I think I have that linked. I have like another 10, 12 hours of Satisfactory and rambling. You are more than welcome to use that for background noise. But do the damn thing! Do your future self a favor. You won't regret it, I'm sure. Where the hell are my stators? What the fuck? What are you missing? Pipes? I might actually bring, Oh! Something's not connected. What's not connected here? Plates. Well, that is an easy fix. There we go. Probably works a bit better once it's actually making what it's supposed to make. Yeah, the problem with manifold designs, especially with the stuff I'm doing here, is that you gotta wait for everything to fill out. Everything at the front gets the majority of resources, and the rest of it kind of languishes. It does look like everything's filling out how it should. Yeah, because we're hitting 100 in these, which means they will fill up on their own. Give it a little time, won't be an issue. The fact that we've got all of the parts being made is good. It's mostly green lights across the board, save for anything that takes screws or rods, but that's to be expected because I did some rounding, and some of that rounding is going to compound through this whole thing. It's going to be like maybe 2-3 hours of idling for everything to fill out. But let's see. You can see in the top right, if I move my big fat face. It's not a big fat face, it's just a big face. We are slowly, surely getting everything. And the automated wiring is going to fill it more than anything. But we're getting there. I'd say this is pretty solid. Oh, look, there's some now. There's some frameworks and a smart plate. And I can't figure out why my statters aren't here, but I'm pretty sure it's the pipes. I'm wondering if I calculated my pipes incorrectly. Been determined not to idle at all. I mean, yeah, but you've also passed this phase, haven't you? Because you did things differently than I did. I have not. I took more time on this than what I would have liked, and built it in a questionable way. Really tempted to take some of that iron that's used for the obelisks and bring it up here. We built all the infrastructure. Yeah, it's just a matter of time. Why is this backing up though? This should not be backing up. This should be moving fluid, and it's not. I'll go ahead and speed it up, but that wasn't the intent. It should be splitting all of these evenly. Oh well. It's working now. Yeah, that's a little more like it. But I think what I'll end up doing is next stream, while we wait for this stuff to fill out, I will begin working on quartz infrastructure. Mostly because there are some really, really cool techs locked behind quartz. Like if I go ahead and build a MAM here, and we look under quartz, the pulse obelisk I think will be kind of interesting. I'm wondering if it deals less damage, could you use it to like grenade jump? That would be cool. There is of course the Explorer, which is a great all-terrain vehicle that can climb almost sheer cliffs. Like, I think it's maybe 60-ish degrees. If you can get a good grip on it and get enough speed, you can climb really steep slopes. They might have changed it, so I might be exaggerating a bit. But it's really nice. And then, of course, once we eventually get to heavy frames and computers, the radar tower. Oh, and I guess radio signal scanning's cool. But we got to get through the whole motor and computer phase, too. Forgotten on Discord. No, I can't hear you. Oh, I've been there. Is there anything else in this sulfur tree? I can't really. I can get another hard drive and get to turbo fuel, but I need to get into oil processing, which is all locked behind the next phase before I can continue sulfur. I need to figure out if there's like a good automatic mycelia source, because gas nobilis are really good. I like those. Synthetic polyester fabric would also be kind of nice, because then that's an oil-based fabric source. So then you can make gas masks and what was the other thing? Parachutes. Medical properties. I don't have any. I have some stators at home, I think. But I don't think that's going to be anything we worry about today. Talking to the void anyway. Believe me, I've been there. A lot of the time at home, I'll talk to myself, because that's what every, sane 20-something does when they live by themselves with cats, is talking to themselves. And I catch myself going into streamer brain. Or I'll be at like my family's place for game nights, and I'll get caught up in streamer brain, and I'll be telling a story, and then my mom like taps me on the shoulder and she's like, "Hey, you're streaming at us," and I'm like, "Oh, okay, sorry. Oops." It's just so easy. It's easy to forget. Lord, don't I know it. But yeah, let's go over, grab our... I'm gonna stand by the court stuff so that I can remember it for next time. And then we'll go ahead and wrap up. It's been a good stream. I'm very, very satisfied with how this went, and I actually do not want to be down here. I would like to be over there, but I don't have a good line to it. Hang on. Ah, no. Ooh. Okay, you know what? No, I'm gonna just... How about we just stop here so I don't fall off of a cliff? We're gonna wrap up here. But you're streaming for someone while talking? It's more the way I talk. This sort of stream of consciousness, topic to topic ramble. It becomes less like talking to people and more or less like talking to my family the way my family knows me, and more like when I talk to people on the internet, which is a little more, I won't say friendly. Is it? I'm me. I don't have a persona for stream, but I have my public speaking brain and I have my family speaking brain. Conversation becomes more one-sided. You could say that. It just sounds different. Anyway, I'm gonna wrap up before I ramble more. I hope you all have a lovely night. Thank you, Ook, for the raid, and for those of you who stuck around. And I will see you next time. Have a lovely night. Bye-bye.